director is confident yet feels the jitters as if it were opening night. Leading man Joe Montana survived a tough casting call, but now with encore performances already guaranteed, Montana would like nothing more than to star in that always gala event to be held at Joe Robbie Stadium in late January. The supporting players have also received rave reviews from the Academy. Roger Craig has surfaced as one of the industry's most versatile stars. Some say his performance has eclipsed that of the leading man. And Jerry Rice has dazzled audiences around the nation for another season. Tonight, he and the rest of the cast make their final curtain call of the 1988 regular season. For the Rams tonight in San Francisco. In San Francisco, and we have a sellout crowd of more than 64,000 to see the division champion 49ers face their arch rival, the Los Angeles Rams. And here's what this game means to LA. If the Rams win tonight, they make the playoffs as a wild card, and the New York Giants are eliminated from the playoff picture. Good evening, everybody.
Everything does rest on his shoulders. Last time, he's learned a lesson from last year when his team was 13-2 coming in. He felt like they peaked too early. He
has seen his team come back from controversy, going for his 100th victory tonight. Got a quarterback controversy earlier in the year. His team slumped. And there is Mike Cofer to kick it away as San Francisco will give up the ball when we start. And Charles White and Ron Brown are deep to receive for the LA Rams. White no longer starting at tailback. That job has gone to Greg Bell, who has had a career season this year. Short kick. Ron Brown at the 11. World-class speed out to the 30, 33, 34-yard line for Ron Brown. Rams quarterback is Jim Everett. He has 27 touchdown passes this season, ranked 4th in the league in passing efficiency. He could reach 4,000 yards tonight. This has become that big play offense. Henry Ellard leads the league with 1,340 yards receiving, the first Ram in more than 20 years to go over 1,000. And 3 of the Rams offensive linemen will go to the Pro Bowl. Jackie Slater, for the 5th time in 6 years, one of the league's all-time best. Bell, the lone setback. And Everett to throw on first down. Complete to the sideline to the rookie, Aaron Cox out of Arizona State. Tim McKyer took him out of bounds. The 49er defense, one of the most efficient in the league. Pro Bowl nose tackle Michael Carter has become the prototype for his position. The linebackers have overcome injuries, and Charles Haley has had a great season with 11.5 sacks. The secondary, excellent. Safety Ronnie Lott with 5 interceptions on the year, and he has made the Pro Bowl again. Second down, a yard to go for the Rams. In fact, less than a yard at the 43.
You know why the Rams coming out and throwing the football early, Mike? They just don't feel like they can pound toe-to-toe with that front line of the 49ers. They really want to try and open this game up a little bit. They know what their strengths and weaknesses are. They know they're young on offense in particular. And by coming out and throwing, it sets a, and really not just throwing it, but completing it. That's going to be the key tonight. Not that the Rams have to throw early downs, but they have to complete them.
And it is that short of a first down. And Joe, what a transition. A couple of years ago, that's what the Rams did. They ran it down your throat with John Robinson's student body right and student body left offense. Now he's got Ernie Zampese as an offensive coordinator, and things have gone 180 degrees.
Yeah, when it was 3rd and 22, you could count on a draw or a trap by Eric Dickerson. You're absolutely right. It has changed, but don't look for Coach Robinson to totally abandon his running philosophy.
Second down and an inch for Los Angeles, with everything riding on this ball game for the Rams. Bell, the deep man behind McGee. And Bell gets his first carry. And it's a first down at the Ram 46-yard line. Pete Kugler, 67, and Jim Fonhorst made the tackle. $15 rushing touchdowns, 17 total. He's had a great season, the most yards he ever rushed for. And Buffalo in '84 had over 1,000.
When you look at it, too, you know, last 3 years, 3 different guys rushing for over 1,000 yards.
Intended for Ellard. Romanowski was there along with Ronnie Lott. And the maturity in Jim Everett is so much different from a year ago.
You and I were talking about that last night, having a chance to sit down with him and just talk to him. Here's a guy who's in his 3rd season, only started 5 games in his rookie year a couple years ago. Now he gets in a huddle. He looks at Aaron Cox. He says, don't worry, you're going to make a big play. I mean, he really has developed into the leader the Rams really need him to be.
2nd and 10. Bell lost it. And the 49ers close in a hurry, and up from the safety to make the stop, Jeff Fuller. One player that the 49ers feel should have gone to the Pro Bowl that did not get the vote. They think he's had a great year.
You see, Bell, it just hits him in the chest and bounces off. Of course, he can't, you know, when he does a good job of picking up. Everett comes into the left side of your screen barely. He thought about throwing a block. He picked out a smaller guy instead of Fuller, which is a good decision by a young quarterback.
3rd and 15. Rams back at their own 41. Anderson is into the wide receiver.
There you see they're not very effective on 3rd down and 11 more.
Everett pressured and threw it away. So the Rams can't move it after picking up an initial 1st down. Pierce Holt chased Jim Everett out of the pocket. He and Daniel Stubbs have been the rookies who have applied good pass pressure up front. And this is Dale Hatcher, averaging under 40 yards. He is a better kicker than that. And John Taylor, who will be going to the Pro Bowl as the return man, is deep. Pretty kick by Hatcher. Fair catch signal made at the 18-yard line. 41-yard punt and no return. No score early 1st quarter. It's brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Transamerica for insurance and financial services. The power of the pyramid is working for you. San Francisco takes over at its own 18.
Perfect situation. You got 80 yards to defend. You got the best. They're going to expect Roger Craig to run the football. Why not run a little play-action pass and see if you can get on top of the Rams early?
There's the play-action fake to Craig, and Montana pressured, dumps it off, intended for Craig, incomplete. And Alvin Wright messed up the process, got right in Joe Montana's face. Montana is the quarterback after early season bumps and bruises. He is healthy and closing in on another 3,000-yard season. Excellent skill, people, highlighted by Craig. Over 1,400 yards rushing, 500 more receiving, an MVP choice of many observers. Harris Barton at 280 is the biggest of an undersized offensive line that relies on quickness and technique more than brute strength. 2nd and 10, 49ers. Craig on the draw. And those delay rushing plays were the things that killed the Rams the first time these two teams met. The Rams defensive line, one of the smallest around. Sean Miller leads the down lineman with 4 sacks. The linebackers are the guys that make it happen. Kevin Green is having an exceptional year, 12 sacks. The Rams with a quality secondary. Jerry Gray has developed into one of the league's best. A combination of strength, quickness, and knowledge, and he is going to the Pro Bowl. Gary Jeter, number 77, is on the field. He's the sack specialist for the down lineman with 10. Another delay to Craig, and Craig wrapped up before he had a chance, and it was Gary Jeter who got him at the line of scrimmage.
It's the kind of inspired defense the Rams are going to have to play, Mike. I mean, they cannot let the 49ers, cannot allow the 49ers to do what they have done to them the last couple times. Get out front early and dictate the tempo of the football game.
Barry Helton comes on to punt it away. Averaging just a shade under 40 yards. And Clifford Hicks is back to receive. You see his number.
Well, another one of those guys who can just flat dance. You know, they're Fred Astaire's and Spikes back there.
Hicks waiting at his own 35. Beautiful spiraling punt by Helton drives Hicks back to the 28-yard line. And that time he only danced for about 6 yards.
He never helped. Ginger Rogers never grabbed him like that.
No. Greg Cox made the tackle, 6-yard return after a punt of 46.
88 at Valley Park Motors.
11:36 to go first quarter. We are scoreless in San Francisco. Let's update you on the NFC playoff picture and how it stands right now. The Eagles win in the East. Chicago, of course, had already won the Central Division at 12-3. They have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And San Francisco, because of the loss by New Orleans today, are 10-5. They are the division champions no matter what happens tonight. And, of course, the wild card, it's the Rams or the Giants, depending on the outcome of our game tonight, and the Vikings. San Francisco, 4 down linemen. Everett had it batted down. Haley was one of the men applying pressure, and it looks like Charles Haley, 94, was the guy who got it.
I played in an offense like this. Joe Gibbs, of course, worked in San Diego with Ernie Zampese, who's the offensive coordinator for the Rams. And Everett only takes a 5-step drop, which only puts him about 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. That means that if the 49ers get penetration, they're only going to be about 2 yards from them when they get their hands in the air. That could be a problem.
The ball batted down by Michael Carter, the Pro Bowl nose guard. Bell on the toss. Only got to the 35. Jim Fonhorst made the tackle. He's in there because of the injury to Ricky Ellison. And has played very, very well.
Very interesting talking to John Robinson yesterday and about his quarterback, Jim Everett. Said the one thing that he doubted about Everett wasn't his ability, but his ability to learn the system so well. And he's been extremely pleased with Jim's command of the offense.
3rd down, 8 for the Rams. Everett over the middle. Cox makes the catch at the 40. Then he lost the ball. Is it down or not? Incomplete.
What happens, you see the outside receivers go man-to-man. Micaiah turns and runs. They hang in a zone. Cox gets behind the defender and just can't hold on to it. I mean, this is the kind of game that you have to make those kind of catches in.
Micaiah got lost, but Ronnie Lott came up and shook it loose. They've stopped the clock with 10:45 to go in the quarter.
Well, let's see if we're going to take a look at it. Yep.
To see if it is a complete pass or not.
Take a look-see and see what's going on.
It's tough to tell from our angle.
But, you know, he's in the air. His feet don't ever really get to the ground. And you have to make the catch.
After a review is the replay, the call stands incomplete.
So it brings up a 4th and 8, and Hatcher back to punt to John Taylor. Taylor has already returned 2 punts this year for touchdowns. And a whistle. This play won't count. Gene Barth, the referee, and he'll explain.
Start, number 23 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The false start will push them back another 5 yards. Michael Stewart, backup defensive back, who has become a starter at safety. Also plays on special teams. So Hatcher now has to go back to his own 15.
He is kicking into a pretty good wind, too, Mike. It's blowing, as everybody looks at their television sets, the wind is blowing at Hatcher's face, left to right on the field.
No pressure. Short and low. Taylor on the first bounce. Got a seam. John Taylor across the 50, forced out of bounds at the 47. A return of 17 after a poor punt that went only 34 yards. Tim Terrell knocked him out of bounds.
We used to have a chair, and my father used to come up from work.
Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. 10:32 to go first quarter. No score, but the 49ers with excellent field position. They'll start from the Rams 47 and 2 tight ends. Frank and Jones, and Montana's back to throw. Dumps it over the middle, complete to John Frank at the 41-yard line. Collins brought him down. We updated you on the NFC playoff picture. Now the AFC. After today's game, we have a much clearer picture of everything. Buffalo wins in the East. Cincinnati and Seattle. Now San Francisco going with no huddle. We'll get back to that in a minute. Craig. Carl Eckern brought him down at the 35-yard line. And the 49ers, let's see if they hustle back to the line of scrimmage again. We'll pick it up for you. The wild cards, Houston and Cleveland, that will be a rematch of their game today. They will go right back to Cleveland. 49ers go into a huddle, so no hurry up this time on 1st and 10. Montana has him at the 35. Craig in motion. Couldn't handle it. The pass a little bit behind him. Collins and Jerry Gray were out there on the coverage.
The reason why the 49ers go with that hurry-up offense, it's a little bit, it's the same principle that the Bengals use. It is they try and stop the Rams from making the substitutions. Rams have really changed their defensive philosophy this year. They've gone away from the 3-4 defense, or they start in the 3-4, and then they go to what they call their eagle, which means that you have 2 down linemen, 5 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. So if they can't get the substitutions in, they can't make the change.
2nd and 10. Greer, number 83, in as an extra wide receiver. Montana dumps to Rathman. 1st down to the Ram 23. Great thing about Montana, there is very little hesitation. If his wide receivers are covered downfield, he gets to somebody in a hurry.
Well, he has total command of the offense. Here, he's really scrambling around, and he knows Tom Rathman has just checked out of the backfield, so he dumps off a little 3-yard pass to him, and Rathman does the rest. You know, he's got 39. That's his 40th reception of the year. Roger Craig, of course, as we mentioned, had 73 coming into this game. That's over 100 backs is a lot for your backfield.
1st and 10 at the 23. Rams come with a blitz. Montana hangs in there, throws for Taylor. He collided with Jerry Gray at the 10-yard line.
Jerry Gray's just a little bit excited about this. Of course, when we visited with the Rams last night, they didn't know what the outcome of today's games would be, so they really had no idea how important this football game. Everything was not in their hands. Now it is. He said that there's been a lot built up between the incidents between him and Jerry Rice, and it's just really been coincidence that he's knocked Rice out in '86 and also earlier this year.
Craig behind Rathman. And Jerry Gray came up from the corner to force him out of bounds. Only gained a couple. Craig has had such a brilliant year, and one of the reasons he's been able to go to tailback was the addition of Rathman to this team, a true big back, so you could have Craig go to a halfback spot, and it's really paid off.
That's all right. Tom Rathman was talking about writing something on his back. See where the name Rathman is? He was just going to put a little sign there that says, "Follow me." So that Roger had, just said, "Look, follow me. He said, I'll take you to stardom." And he has.
He has. Montana to Rice at the 11. Rice just ran a hook, set up and waited. Montana drilled it.
Boy, quarterbacks and coaches talk about threading the needle. Well, you're about to see a needle get threaded. There is very little room in there for a football to get in before collisions start. And Montana was going to go to Rice all the way. There's a sandwich. That's a people sandwich right there.
Fred Strickland was the first one there. Montana tripped up. What a great job by Kevin Green, who gets his
talk already. But that inspires a quarterback. If this game meant nothing, that would inspire him.
2nd and 13. Rathman slipped the tackle, got to the 2. Carl Eckern kept him out of the end zone.
The last time these two teams played, the poorest thing that the Rams did on defense was tackle. On this particular play, Larry Kelm, number 52, had a shot at Rathman about the 10-yard line and let him pick up 7 more yards.
3rd down and 1. It's a long one, really. They have to get just outside the 1-yard line for a first down. Play action. Montana has to eat it at the 7. Excellent coverage in the end zone by the Rams. Greg Meisner and Anthony Newman got in on Montana, and Newman, number 26, they think he's going to be a star.
I think Coach Robinson might be into this one a little bit early. How's his defense doing?
These are two very pleasant coaches to talk to, Bill Walsh and John Robinson. And Mike Kofer will come on. He's really been hot lately. And kickers, like everyone else in this game, it seems, very streaky players. 24-yard field goal. And Kofer is true. So the 49ers jump on top at home. 6:17 to go first quarter. 3-0 Niners.
Give your...
And Bubba Paris now. Jeter's going to come in. He's going to block it right here, but the ball's just going to slide inside the upright. He does get a hand on this one. See Jeter swim inside, and this one just goes off his right wrist right there. And the ball just does make it through. You made it. You made the statement, Mike. When you're hot, you're hot.
Jeter's had a great year as a down lineman in the Rams' more aggressive defensive scheme, and now Kofer made the field goal, kicking to White and Brown. Brown at the 10. Still got it past the 20, even with the muff, gets it out to the 24-yard line. Scoring drive for the 49ers goes 41 yards. They had to settle for the Kofer field goal as the Rams did their job and kept them out of the end zone.
The one thing about a cool night like this, and it is cool, it's damp here by the bay, is that we saw Bell have one hit him in the stomach before, put it on the ground. Ron Brown doesn't feel that one clean. Is your hands get dry and slick, and so you don't have that tackiness on the ball.
Slow start for Jim Everett, only 1 out of 5. Goes for his tight end, Damone Johnson, out to the 33-yard line. Touchdown there. About a yard shy of a first down. So Everett, who is working on a 4,000-yard season, gets his second completion.
This gives you an idea of the strength of Jim Everett's arm. Now, he's going to Damone Johnson all the way. That one just does get in between the door closing.
Von Horst and Romanowski collided going for it.
Oh, we also mentioned about Montana going to Rathman and Craig. Everett has gone to his tight ends, Damone Johnson and Pete Houlihan, 94 times before that catch.
Bell hurdles one of his own men, gets up to the 39-yard line. Bell with 1,124 yards rushing. And look at the stats. In '84, with Buffalo, had that 1,100-yard season and then sort of disappeared and really had his career resurrected with the Dickerson trade to Indianapolis. And, of course, the Rams have benefited tremendously from that trade.
And we'll continue to.
Well, they will. What is it, 2 1s and 3 2s coming up next year? Everett near side intended for Eller, too high, and Eric Wright. Boy, and everybody settled down in a hurry. Something went off in the far end zone. Folks, there is no cannon down there. That is not planned.
There's no mule here, and there's no jet planes coming over, so...
The folks in the front row gave a collective gasp.
I'm glad that one made it to the field.
Back to the excitement on the field, 3rd and 5. Complete to Ellard, knocked away. Ellard had it, and Darryl Pollard came up and stuck him. Would have been shy of the first down anyway.
You see, Everett's got to move his feet, and he really doesn't get a chance to get anything on this ball. Ellard goes up to make the catch, but as you mentioned, Pollard gets that hand in and knocks it away. Wouldn't have had the first down anyway.
Once again, pressure from Haley, who was coming hard from the outside. John Taylor back to receive Hatcher's punt. He's waiting at his own 20. High floating kick. Taylor at the 21. Another good return for Taylor, driven out of bounds, but got almost to midfield. A 29-yard punt return after a 41-yard kick. Boy, he's exciting. He deserves to go to the Pro Bowl as a return man.
And what really makes it for him is when he makes this return, you see that the Rams aren't really close to him. Some excellent blocks upfield. Now he just really turns the corner, and it looks like he's got clear sailing, but the angle of the Rams run him out of bounds.
You can beat the first guy who has a legitimate shot. You have a crack at it.
Being an ex-punt returner, they always give you the first guy. I was never good enough to get away from him, but they always give you the first one.
Bray, big hole up the middle. He'll get 6 to the Rams 44. Game day switches to Saturday this week, and we'll take a look at the AFC wildcard game. Chris, Tom, and Pete will all be there. Starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern live. Rams hustling on the field defensively as the 49ers go without a huddle. Montana looked one way and was stuffed by Kevin Green. That is his 2nd sack of the ball game and his 14th of the season.
He has really found his niche as a pass rush. You see him lower part of your screen, number 91. He's actually in a delayed rush. John Frank's number 86 would have had him, but Green didn't come right away, so he wasn't sure whether to block him.
Green probably benefited more from the change in defensive philosophy than any other player on the Rams team. Comes the blitz. Montana unloads, had it tipped. Newman, 26. The safety got a fingertip on it as Montana went down. And this brings up a 4th and 6.
Joe's sitting in the pocket, but they're really putting a lot of pressure on him. I mean, they are just coming from all over the place. Freddie Strickland, a rookie out of Purdue, planted on him. We talked to Fritz Shermer, the defensive coordinator. The one thing he said that he wanted to do to Montana was disrupt his rhythm. He didn't want him sitting there feeling like he could pick him apart, and so far he's done it.
Johnny Johnson is back with Clifford Hicks on Helton's punt this time. Rocketed one out of there, and it just went into the end zone. 45-yard punt and a bad break for Barry Helton. Did not get the bounce. '49ers are up 3-0.
For a while Montana was injured a little bit, Barry Helton had to be the reserve team quarterback. And he's probably one of the few punters in the league that had to go in the training room for 2 weeks of solid treatment on his arm because it was sore from throwing so much.
Rams would like to get something established on offense. Everett on 1st down again. Completes it out to the 34-yard line to Pete Holohan. We asked Jim Everett, what part of your game have you improved from last year to this year the most?
Being able to throw while on balance, so your accuracy improves. I mean, that was always the knock on me. I was throwing off balance. The passes weren't as accurate. We're getting that completed this year, and a lot of it has to do with my front line. They're protecting very well, doing a great job, and allowing me to stay in the pocket.
Charles White has come in at tailback for the Rams. Intercepted, picked off by McKyer. That ball got there late, and McKyer closed on it.
That ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Somebody got a hand up, and we saw it on Jeters before when the ball was deflected and went in for the field goal. Now you'll see from the right side of your screen, somebody gets a hand up on the ball and just does tip it, and it goes like a dying quail out to the sideline.
Looked like Pierce Holt tipped it, and McKyer got his 7th interception of the season. Pretty good secondary for the 49ers, and a break for San Francisco right here. Montana pressured again, and Green has him for the third time in the first quarter. Well, he wasn't blowing smoke when he said he'd come after him tonight.
No, and I think Joe wishes he said, well, look, maybe I'll be someplace else instead of sitting here waiting for you. I mean, let's retract it. Here you see Green, he just does a good job. Rathman cannot go to the ground on Kevin Green. He's going to have to meet him face mask to face mask, plant that thing right in his chin, and say, hey, look, this is where you're going to have to go through me if you want to get to Joe, not over me like you did.
And it's not a mismatch in size either. Green is 238, Rathman 232. Green again. Holy cow, 4 sacks in the first quarter. He's having a career in 15 minutes.
He simply flat told Joe Montana, I'm coming after you. And he rushed it. Now, here he goes. Rathman this time. Well, I'll tell you, it's a little bit not fair because 2 of the sacks, nobody's blocked him. 2 he's gotten, but still it goes down as 4 on the board. I'll guarantee you that the 49er offensive coaches are sitting up there trying to figure out, okay, what do we do with this number 91 now?
It's 3rd and 22. Now Jeter comes after him and creates another sack.
You know what they do in basketball right now? They call, give me a 20-second timeout. We got to regroup. Give me a 20-second right here. All this is man-on-man. Jeter does an excellent job. Runs the little arm under right up inside on Randy Cross. And Jesse Sapolo, number 61, to get the sack.
Hey, it's 4th and 29. And the Rams, of course, started so well this year with sacks. Faded for quite a while. And going into this weekend, they were 2nd in the league with 47. Helton punting to Hicks. Hicks on the bounce at the 22. Nice job by Hicks. Got it up over the 30 to the 32-yard line. 41-yard punt and a 10-yard return. And there's Kevin Green, who has 4 sacks in the first quarter, and he hasn't been alone either.
No, he hasn't. He's had a lot.
So the Rams defense has done its job. Now we'll see what the offense can do. Bell back in there. Lowers the head, dives forward to the 37-yard line. Picked up about 6. Michael Carter, the nose tackle, brought him down.
At this stage in the game, Mike, the defense turns to the offense and says, look, you're giving them the ball. Things aren't going our way. We've stopped them. This is our 3rd series. We've given you the football back in pretty good field position considering the circumstances. Do something with it. At least get a first down.
They aren't quite that genteel with it, though, are they?
I just paraphrased it.
2nd and 6. Down at the line of scrimmage, and it looked like Carter and Haley in the middle again.
Again, it's that same thing. You take 1 or 2 steps, get the penetration, look up. You know that they're in a quick throw offense. Right part of your screen, number 75 comes outside fake, and Carter just is right in the middle. Hit him in the armpit with it. And you know, Kevin, you know that Michael Carter is not going to go up and slam dunk the ball. So that one's down low.
26 seconds to go in the quarter. 3rd and 6, Los Angeles. Delay to Bell. Slipped the tackle. Very close to a first down. And if they're marking it at the 42, he's got it. They mark it at the 41, and that is going to be short. Watt and Holmo made the tackle. Going to bring the chains in where the marker is between the 41 and the 42-yard line.
I believe he's short.
I do too.
I'd say remember he was short by an inch and a half before. He's short by about 3 inches on this one. Bell did a good job just to get that close.
The 3 inches?
That's 3 inches.
Very good.
Give or take. But,
John Robinson, not real happy with the spot to begin with, is less happy now. And the Rams on 4th and inches will talk it over as the first quarter comes to an end here at Candlestick Park. After the first 15 minutes of play, it's 3-0 49ers.
Down. Remember, the ball was spotted on the 41-yard line. Now, There's Bell with the ball, okay? That's about the 42 and change. Now, John Robinson, this is during the break now. He's pointing out to the referee and saying, you move the ball back at least 1 yard, because his foot, he's pointing to the official, his foot marked it up further. And you know something? I got to be honest with you. I really think that they spotted that ball back. Now, they might say his knee hit the ground. Doesn't matter where his knee is, it's where the ball is when his knee hits the ground.
Exactly, and I think John Robinson has a legitimate complaint. The official on the play moved the ball back after the side judge said it was the 41. The Rams may have thought about going for it at this point, but have decided against it, and Hatcher comes on to punt to John Taylor, who has already had a big first quarter. No pressure on Hatcher. And he hangs one up. Taylor, fair catch signal, makes it at the 22. 38-yard punt and no return. Coming up January 29th, the NFL Films will have a special, the 1988 All-Pro Team. And our coverage starts at 7. Then live coverage of the NFC AFC Pro Bowl at 8 Eastern. Apollo.
Which will feel warm after tonight.
Craig. Eckern was in on the stop as he crossed the 20-yard line, along with Alvin Wright, number 99, the nose man.
The thing about Roger Craig is he hits the line. Now, what the Rams are doing is you watch the penetration. See Wilcher come across. He takes out the lead blocker. The second defensive back takes out the guards, which allows all those linebackers to pursue. If they can make Roger Craig run east and west, they'll effectively shut down his running.
2nd and 10. The 49ers have not been able to do much, especially throwing it because of pass pressure. And here's Montana chased again. Back against the grain, incomplete. Excellent job by Gray on Rice. Jerry Gray was all over Rice.
Tom Rathman from the right part of your screen. We saw him go down earlier. Hasn't been there for a couple. This is the way he's got to take on Kevin Green. Toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose. That's what Rathman, I'm sure they had a talk with him on the sideline. Says, look, you can't go after the guy's legs. You got to meet him face mask to face mask. That's how they term smash faces come up. Isn't that a great term for football? Smash face.
Unless your face is in there. 3rd and 10. Pressure again, and another sack at the 15-yard line. Fred Strickland got that one. 7 sacks in a quarter and 59 seconds. That's unbelievable.
Well, Mark Giroux is not playing. He's hurt. So Fred Strickland has assumed the role of that nose tackle in the Eagle defense. This time, instead of dropping out into coverage, he just came after Joe Montana.
Montana has already taken a pounding here in the first half. Clifford Hicks is waiting at midfield. Helton with some pressure got it out of there. Hicks up to the 46. Got away from 4 tacklers inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. A fine return of 8 yards after a kick of 31. Rams down by 3, but with great field position. Rams in a great spot at the San Francisco 38-yard line.
Juggling a chicken? That's what Joe Montana must feel like. I feel like being juggled by the Rams. And he's
he feels like the chicken. Ellard never looked. Almost got him in the back of the head with it. Jeff Fuller was out there on the coverage.
Well, you know what that pass was? The reason why Ellard never looked is that was going to be a pass to the tight end. And then Holohan, and he was going to lateral it back to Ellard. So Ellard's concentrating on Holohan, trying to make the catch, never thinking that the ball is going to go to him. Good defense by the 49ers.
First quarter stats, 7 sacks and only 12 net yards for the San Francisco passing attack. Everett side saddle under center. Bell. Nice run by Greg Bell near the 30-yard line. It will bring up about 3rd and 3.
The Rams' first 5 drives, they had the ball 1 minute and 50 seconds, a minute and 50 seconds, 45 seconds, and 1 minute and 14. The offensive line continues to try and give Greg Bell room, but they have to pick this first down up. It's been a game of field position. Now they have it. They can't give it away.
Why do Everett and Kozar doing their side saddle under center?
Because what happens is a lot of quarterbacks take false steps. That eliminates the false step when you stagger them under center.
In a minute. 7 sacks.
That was the key, is that front four is putting a lot of pressure on Montana.
3rd and 3. Holohan makes the catch at the 28-yard line, and depending on the spot, he's very close to a first down. Holohan was a steal from San Diego for a 4th-round draft choice.
Well, Ernie Zampese has people he knows that know the offense, and they're a great influence on the guys that are just learning it. Has a nice set of hands, you know, catches it once, catches it twice. He only gets credit for 1 catch, but it's a big catch because he does keep the drive going.
That's 57 catches for Holohan on the season. It is a first down. Everett for Ellard. Can't bring it down. Darryl Pollard was with him. That's because Eric...
Time and time again. Great job of drafting personnel.
2nd and 10. Bell. Gaping hole, and a nice move by Bell gets down to the 16. Very close to another first down.
Not only was that a nice move by Bell, but that was a nice job by Jim Everett making the adjustments. You see him, here he is calling the end of the play. He sees it coming. He audibleized. Now he knows that there's a safety blitz coming up the middle. And a great, Jeff Fuller's still looking for Greg Bell. So I know he was here a second ago. I don't know where he is now.
We've had an awful lot of close measurements in this game. That's a first down. John Robinson must be thinking, don't move that one back.
No,
I needed that one.
Don't touch it.
Rams trying to get on the scoreboard. They're down 3-0. They have it just outside the 49ers 16.
This is where the 49ers have to come up with a big play. You know, all those teams winning and giving the 49ers that championship psychologically takes a little bit of edge off. Now the defense has got to start playing.
Everett with time. Johnson. Touchdown. Damone Johnson gets his 4th touchdown of the season. And Johnson is 6'4", 230. He just bowled his way in there.
Yeah, and you won't see that very often. Number 42, Ronnie Lott, hits him dead square right in the shoulder pad, and he just runs over Lott like he wasn't there. You know, there's a guy who came in at about 220. Now he's at about 240, and is really, as John Robinson referred, he was a project, and he's been built into a quality tight end, and that's what he's become.
Lansford for the point after. And the Rams, who must win to make the playoffs, have a 7-3 lead.
Everett just setting in the pocket. He's going to Damone Johnson all the way. His eyes never move. He makes the catch. Now, from the right part of your screen, here comes Ronnie Lott. Now, he doesn't wrap his hands. He thinks he can just hit him with enough force, but he can't.
It's 200 against 235, 240.
Okay, so we're talking the law of physics right here.
That's right.
This is what it looks like. I mean, there's no doubt where Everett's going. He sees it all the way. He's just going to go to Damone Johnson, making the move off of Charles Haley. Now keep in mind, Haley is a pass rusher. He's not a linebacker cover guy. And I really, the Rams have gotten a lot of their back in Greg Bell. A lot of changes, and a lot of their linebackers are pass rushers. So I would expect them to continue to try and exploit that matchup through the evening.
7-3, Rams for their first lead in the ball game. That is touchdown pass number 28 for Jim Everett this year. Quite a year. And that ties him with Boomer Esiason and Dan Marino for #1 in the NFL, and he's got a chance to win that particular championship.
And he's a guy, he's a young guy who did not make a Pro Bowl this year. Had a couple of games, I think, held him back. But I went through that earlier in my career. You know, you got to have a good year. You don't make the Pro Bowl, you get a little bit more incentive to serve notice on the league.
Dale Rogers on the return. Got it out to the 22, 23-yard line. And he was planted by one of the Rams on spec. In the Gator Bowl. Craig trying to get outside. Hard-running Roger Craig gets across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Sean Miller, the right defensive end, brought him down. Didn't have long to make up that sign.
No, it really, you know, it's like, hurry up, let's go. Do it straight line, so. I like that. You know, it's all right. A lot of artists around here, I guess. They practice on a sign, too.
I guess. 2nd and 7. Craig, not much that time. Reed and Eckern were there, along with Mike Wiltshire. I think Joe Montana says, guys, we're going to keep it on the ground a little bit. I'm tired of being having the perspective I've got.
If somebody's going to have to get tackled, why don't we let guys that are used to it get tackled? And that's Roger Craig. What's happening is the Rams are winning the battle up front. They're getting penetration on the San Francisco defense, and they're just not allowing Roger Craig to get started or Joe Montana to get started, whether it's a pass or a run.
Neither team has done much on 3rd down so far. This is 3rd and 6. Montana, quick drop to Taylor. Taylor forced out of bounds, but he reached the 40-yard line. A 13-yard gain, and that's one of the shortest passes Taylor has caught all year. He is averaging 30 yards a catch coming into this game.
This is a little fake in, fake out. He starts, he's on the outside, he starts in. Now they run crossing patterns off of this, and he just pivots back out. Now Jerry Gray has got him, but in his haste, he never wraps his other hand around him. Also, Coach Robinson said, we can do a good job in this game. We just have to stop big plays. And if they can't tackle, they can't stop big plays.
Green cut down by Harris Barton on that last play. You can chop somebody when you're only going to take a 3-step drop. Montana, again, the short drop, then hesitates. Complete over the middle. Wilson to the Ram 40-yard line. A gain of 20.
There's a case where Joe Montana audibilizes, the Rams audibilize, and Montana stays with what he's got. He wants, because he had single coverage, he wanted to go to the quick slant. He does, but again, Jerry Gray does not do a good job of knocking Mike Wilson off of his route in the beginning. There's Johnny Johnson just sticking that head right in the thigh pad. Big hit.
And Johnny Johnson is still down.
Brad brings back a memory.
It'll be Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders in that one. Johnny Johnson up on his feet on the sideline. James Washington, number 37, is in the Rams secondary on 1st and 10. And Montana completes it. Loose ball, but out of bounds at the 30-yard line. John Taylor made the catch, then lost it, but fortunately for San Francisco, lost it out of bounds.
Well, the Rams are certainly disrupting Joe Montana's rhythm. And what I've noticed is that Wiltshire, number 54, is going to come. Green, number 91, is going to come from the Ram defense. It looks to me like who's ever trying to block him, whether it's a tight end or a running back, they're trying to cut him and throw at their feet. And they're just not going to get him down. It's going to be a long afternoon for Montana. Or if Young gets in this game later on, the same thing with these guys throwing at their feet.
To the 32. That will be enough to move the sticks first down. Larry Kelm and Fred Strickland made the stop.
49ers coach Bill Walsh, who really has done a fabulous job with this franchise. Come under a lot of criticism this year when his team struggled. But I think people forget about the San Francisco 49ers in 1975 through 1980 before he got here.
Johnny Johnson back in the ballgame, makes the tackle, but Craig gets to the 17. Joe, you're right about Bill Walsh and the reaction, and it's the people have short memories. What have you done for me lately?
That's right, and he said this was one of the toughest years he's ever gone through, but he feels like his ball club is starting to play well. On this play, we talked about the normal sweep before and the Rams being able to get penetration. So that time, the 49ers said, fine, if you want penetration, we'll pull our guards and trap you and cut up inside of it. So, you know, for everything the defense does, the offense tries to counter.
Craig again. Got to the 15. Collins was there to knock him down. Collins was out 3.5 months on injured reserve. He had knee surgery. Played very well when he's come back.
Bill Walsh looking for his 100th victory here tonight. And as I meant, you know, he took this team, when he took it over, you got to remember, this man had nothing to work with. They traded away a lot of draft choices for O.J. Simpson, who really was at the end of his career.
Right.
They traded away a couple #1s for Jim Plunkett and then finally wound up cutting him. So he and his staff have started from scratch to build this championship organization.
2nd and 8, Montana to Rathman. Eckern brought him down, but he got to the 9-yard line. Bring up 3rd and about 2.5. Well, all at once, the 49ers seem to have their rhythm back after that string of sacks by the Rams defense.
Yeah, Montana's just finding his receivers real quick. Before, I think he was trying to get the ball to the wide receivers now, or earlier. Now it's like, let me see if I can get it to the back. Plus, if Roger Craig can run, Joe Montana can keep his rhythm.
3rd and a long 2 from the 9. Craig dives to the 6. And let's see where it's marked. Needed to get to about the 6.5. Carl Eckern on the stop again. And once again, they'll bring the change in.
I'll say you got 1 for 1 tonight.
Yeah.
We got a pretty good view of things up here. A couple of other people interested in see what happens.
If I'm ever 1 for 1, I'm going to quit. First down, you're 2 for 2. Steve Young on the sideline right beside Bill Walsh. Of course, they had a quarterback controversy out here earlier this year.
And he regrets a little bit of it. Joe Montana, of course, was upset by it, but everything is forgotten now. Now they're playing, you know, in the postseason, and that's what they wanted to get to.
Craig. To the goal line, no signal of a touchdown. His knee appeared to hit about the 2, and he fell forward. A nice block by Jesse Sapolo up front.
This is just Roger Craig running north and south up the field. No running towards the sideline. Doesn't if the ball hits the goal line, isn't that considered? I mean,
his knee was down though.
That's the difference.
2nd and goal. Rathman. That's a touchdown. Tom Rathman with only his 2nd touchdown of the season. And he has the 49ers back on top.
This is just power football. The offensive line of the 49ers just driving the Rams back far enough to get Rathman in the end zone.
And this, Joe, is not a big offensive line. This is not your group of 300-pounders.
Now, these guys all average somewhere around 260, particularly up front. Of course, you got Bubba Paris, who's a small mountain at about 308. But everybody else is 260. Jesse Sapolo is 265. Randy Cross, Bruce Colley, Guy McIntyre, 265. Not big people.
Topher is on for the point after. Helton, the punter, is the holder. Helton gets it down, and Topher puts it through. San Francisco leads by 3, 10-7. Of course, the 49ers already have the division wrapped up. This game means nothing more than pride. For the Rams, it's a lot more than that. They have to win tonight to make the playoffs. If they do win, they will be a wild card, and they eliminate the Giants.
You also made a point when we talked about it in the open, is that Coach Robinson said he's got to take this team past contenders. They've been contenders for a long time. Now he feels like this football team has got to break into that next echelon of ball clubs, the 49ers, the Redskins, the Bears, the Vikings. He feels like his football team is ready to make that jump.
I think John Robinson deserves tremendous accolades from not only people in our profession, in the media, but the coaching ranks. Here's a man who's made his living almost forever in running the football. And yet he was bright enough to realize, I've got to change some things in order to take that next step. That's when he got Ernie Zampese to get a passing game here.
And then next year he's talked about adding strength to his football team through drafting defensively. So he's building for the future also.
2 number 1s and 3 number 2s. The reserves left over from the Dickerson trade. Brown and White are deep to receive. That's Mike Cofer set to kick it off. 10-7 with 5:23 to go in the quarter. Brown 89, White 33. High floating kick. Brown from the 9. Brown gets it back to the 26. Of course, Brown took some time off trying to make the Olympic team this year as a sprinter. There's the drive, and an impressive one it was, 77 yards. Took nearly 6 minutes off the clock. And on the 49ers sideline, giving some attention to center Randy Cross. Long-time veteran, a little shaken up on that last drive. Prolonged his career, moving from guard to center. At the 34-yard line. Pollard made the tackle. Of course, Cox was a guy who paid immediate dividends, one of the first-round draft choices this year. As Joe told you, the Rams went for offense this year. Cox has been a big producer. Look at that average.
Well, that's the big thing. You know, it isn't the touchdown passes or the receptions, but if you got a guy averaging 22 yards a catch and change, every time he gets his hands on the football, the entire defense, as well as a quarterback, you hold your breath and you say, ooh, I wonder how far he's going to go.
And it really opened up things up for Ellard on the other side. 2nd and 2. Bell, absolutely nothing. Middle of the defense really closed it down. Larry Roberts made the tackle. The owner and president of the Los Angeles Rams, George Frontiere. Another interested observer.
Because he's about ready to go to work, too. See, I always wonder, I always thought Santa Claus had a little bit of a mustache. And, you know, he had like...
I didn't think it was black either.
Well, he dyed his... I didn't realize he dyed it, actually. His roots are dark. That's surprising to me.
That's what the Rams have done all year on 3rd and 2. All right. Everett to Ellard, who was wide open at midfield, chased out of bounds by Darryl Pollard. A gain of 16.
Now, Henry Ellard said he's assumed the role of the old guy on the football team, and he's the man that they go to in the 3rd down possession situations. Here it is. It's just one-on-one coverage, and Darryl Pollard couldn't stay with him. Ernie Zampese said, he is my Charlie Joyner. He's the guy that has to make those plays for us.
Fake to Bell, and a good one. Everett throws that one away. Now that is not intentional grounding.
No, there was a receiver in the stadium. so it counts. That went over Buford McGee's head and just kept on going. But that's good to see. You know, the thing that's different, the difference between Everett and Montana is we've seen Montana with a lot of time dance around, dump the ball off to Rathman, dump the ball off to Craig. Everett, they really are a tight end, wide receiver-oriented offense. He doesn't have the backs to go to and dump off in situations like that.
Bell made a nice cut to get past midfield and down to the 45-yard line. He got past Fonhorst, who just got a piece of him. And a gain of 5 for Bell. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Clock running, 3:57 to go in the first half. A lot of pressure in this game, Joe, but for the Rams, it's kind of a game you want to play in. Everything on the line.
Yeah, as a football player, nobody has to say a word to you. You knew coming here tonight to the stadium what was at stake, and it's all in your hands as a player to get ready.
He's got the first down to the 39-yard line. Good job by Jim Everett. Greg Cox came up to make the tackle.
Well, there's his rushing. You see 31 yards. He's run the ball 32 times. This time, the pocket just really goes around him. Excellent job by the line, taking him around the cup and giving Everett a chance to step up the middle. If I was a defensive coach, I would want to push Everett up the middle and flush him outside, not allowing that gap up inside.
Ron Brown is in as a wide receiver. He's to the far side. They'll give it to Brown on the end around. To the 30 to the 27-yard line. McKyer in on the stop, along with Charles Haley, 94.
You know the 49ers are basically a man-to-man defense. They try and fake that little trap inside by bringing Holohan and bringing the safeties up, and then hopefully the speed outside of Ron Brown will make a difference. But Charles Haley can also run. If he doesn't get a hand on him, it's one-on-one. There's the play fake. You see him hold the linebackers and linemen inside, but Haley wasn't fooled.
1st and 10. Another play action. Everett complete to Ellard at the 12. That will be another first down. Jeff Fuller a step behind, and Ellard made the catch for the first down.
That's the kind of mismatch you look for as a quarterback. You've got a fleet little wide receiver basically being covered in the zone by a strong safety. And that's the best that Jeff Fuller can do, is just stay close.
Ellard made sure he got the catch, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. The Rams trail the 49ers by 3. Travelers NFL Man of the Year award to the player's on-field performance is complemented by significant community involvement. This year's nominees: from the Rams center Doug Smith, from the 49ers quarterback Joe Montana. 1st and 10, Rams. Comes the blitz. Everett overthrows Ellard, and McKyer was right there.
Everett's been real smart with his throws tonight. We saw him throw the one away earlier in this drive, up airmailed it to row 4, section 6. That one he tries to drop into the cameraman. I mean, he's picking out some key people to throw the ball away to. It's not like it's going to dead space. But he's making some real good decisions. When it's not there, he's just not going to put the ball up for grabs and hurt his ball play.
You saw the Rams' success inside the 20 this year. Bell with a stutter step. Got to the 9. Fuller was there along with Pierce Holt, 78. Plenty of time left in the half. We're
Well,
on to 1:41, and the Rams have 2 timeouts.
You say that, and that's really a key. Plenty of time left in the half. I don't want to either kick a field goal or score a touchdown and give Joe Montana 1 minute and 10 seconds and 3 timeouts to go down the football field. If there is somebody who uses the clock any better, I don't think he plays in the National Football League.
That's right.
So you're really doing 2 things. You're taking the time away from the 49er offense, plus getting in position to score.
3rd and 7. Ellard, touchdown! Holy cow, what a catch. Tim McKyer never saw it.
I got to believe this one almost hits Ellard in the chest, bounces off of McKyer's chest, and Ellard winds up pulling it out in the middle. Great patience by Jim Everett, looking over the field, fighting for something, for an opportunity, a lane to throw the ball.
Lansford comes on for the point after. And he makes it 14-10. Great concentration by Henry Ellard. Looked like he was screened on the play and just kept his eyes on it all he could.
Everett's just going to buy himself some time. There's nowhere to go up the middle. Now he scrambles out to the right. He makes his throw. Now Ellard's looking and McKier's not. There, really, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. He got up a little bit higher than McKier. The ball bounced off his chest, and it looked like it went off of McKier's and right back into Ellard's. Here's another look at it from a reverse angle. He makes the catch. That ball's in the air. Just about gets stripped away.
Oh.
Great concentration.
Tremendous job by Ellard.
McKier did everything he could, even though he couldn't find the ball, to get it away from Henry Ellard. And this is what I'd like you to do.
Dropped by Rogers. And stumbled at the 32. He may have had another 68 yards in that return if he hadn't stumbled. That drive for the Rams, 74 yards, more than 4 minutes. And Ellard gets the touchdown from Everett. The situation now are 69 yards away.
Like I said, there's one guy, if I'm in this situation, I want running the offense, and he's under the center right now.
He has been sacked 7 times in this half. Too low for Rathman, and Kevin Green was coming hard again from the outside. Hope you'll stay with us at the half, because Chris Berman will be along with television's fastest 3 minutes, highlights of today's games, and there were some big games today, really impacting on the playoffs. And then Roy Firestone, a great story on the special relationship between Gene Stallings, the Cardinals coach, and his son John. And then Joe will be back to analyze what happened in the first half. 2nd and 10. Montana for Taylor, and he couldn't hold it. Johnny Johnson was coming over, trying desperately to get there because Leroy Irvin was beaten.
Joe Montana's rhythm is upset. He wants to hold this ball just a little bit longer, but you see how he loaded it and held it back like that? He did not have a chance to throw this ball with the accuracy or the rhythm he wants to. Consequently, it just gets out of the reach of John Taylor.
Oh, what a great shot.
It really was, but you know, people would say, well, you got to make catches like that. You make catches like that, you know, open up the Hall of Fame wing because you're on your way.
3rd and 10. Montana throws too low for Taylor this time, and with 39 seconds left, the 49ers will have to give it up again.
What's more upsetting than anything is Joe Montana's not thinking about that pass. He's thinking about the one when you get a big shot, when you get that chance for the big play, it gets away from you. And you say, gosh, I wish I could have just held on, or I had my feet under me, or the guy's blocked a little bit longer. That's all going through his mind right now.
Difficult to keep your concentration on the next couple of plays, too, isn't it?
Well, the next one, of course, if it's a punch, you get to sit down. But you're right.
Hicks is back. Low snap. And a great break for the Rams as Helton can't get it out of there. 33 seconds to go in the half, and the Rams already in field goal territory. Leroy Irvin was in there in a hurry, and Helton had to eat it.
Remember I told you it started to get a little bit cooler, a little bit colder? That not only affects the wide receivers, because we've seen kick returners drop the ball, guys that just don't hit, but it also affects centers. That ball that's nowhere near a spiral. It's just flat thrown out to the right and doesn't have a chance. That's Chuck Thomas, whose job is to snap the ball. But he's sitting on the sidelines with his hands getting cold.
Irvin made the tackle. Comes the blitz. Everett unloads. Ellard. That's interference. Pollard was all over him. He knew he was beaten. He says, no, not this time. I'll take the penalty. He's in there at the corner because Eric Wright has a groin pull.
I'll tell you, Tim McKier's going to feel lonely because he's not going to see a football. They're going to make...
Defensive interference. 32, first and goal on a 2-foot line.
No, it wasn't Ronnie Lott. That was Daryl Pollard. You know, we're showing Ronnie Lott. He got credit for something he didn't do. He wasn't even in the candy store when this one happened. There's a reverse angle of it. Everett does manage to get the ball out, but Pollard is just all over Ellard. Which, you know, if it's back around the 2-yard line, you say your defense may be able to hold him. Now they got 4 shots.
Play action. Everett throws incomplete. Well, they surprised me with 24 seconds left from the 2-foot line.
Didn't surprise the 49ers.
No.
Yeah, in a way, I think it makes a statement for the Rams that they've been stuffed. They have been stuffed because of the penetration of that defensive line of the 49ers, and there are the
Offensive linemen who are going to the Pro Bowl, guys who have been there before, and one, Irv Pankey, who's probably outplayed the other 3 this year.
Yeah, but still, you know, you got to think about what happened last time these 2 teams played.
Bell, touchdown. A flag is down, however.
Defense, number 67, offside, penalty refused, touchdown.
And it will stand as a touchdown.
Well, this is what you talked about, Mike. They got 3 Pro Bowlers up there. Just turn around and give it to them. You know, Bell just really goes in untouched.
Lansford for the point after. (21-13). Excuse me, 21-10. Been late. Joe referring to the fact that the Giants are out of the playoffs if the Rams win tonight. And there's Thomas, who was the snapper on punts, and that mistake turns into a Rams touchdown.
And he knows, I mean, you know what's going on in that man's mind, right? I mean, you can just see it in his face, in his mind.
It's the only time you'll ever see a snapper on television is after a bad snap.
You just don't want to kick the ball to this guy. I mean, John Taylor can light it up in a hurry. And if you squib kick it too short, even with 20 seconds, Montana hits 2 passes. The score will wind up, as you mentioned, 21-13.
That's right.
Instead of 21-10 at halftime.
Oh, I wasn't trying to make a prediction. It's been a mistake.
I mean, but you're right. It could.
High short kick. Taken by Harry Sidney, who faked the lateral. It looked like they had a play set up where Sidney could have gotten rid of the ball.
They might have had a chance at it. They really might have had a chance at it.
16 seconds left in the half, and the 49ers have it at their own 34. They also have all 3 timeouts left.
You'll see it over on the right of your screen. Now, they kick it right where he wants. Now, watch Sidney raise up and try and throw the ball. See? He looks like he's going to throw it, hopefully faking out some of the Rams. But he didn't fake out everybody.
4-man rush. Montana throws to Taylor. 47-yard line, 9 seconds left when he got out of bounds. An 18-yard gain. One more of those, and they have a field goal opportunity.
Yeah, Mike Kofer's pretty darn good from 40 to 49 yards out. He's hit 6 out of 10. He's hit 1 out of 5 from over 50. They need about 15 more yards to make them feel a little bit more comfortable with an attempt.
Montana throws complete out of bounds at the 29-yard line, and there is time left on the clock. And there's a name we haven't called very much tonight, Jerry Rice.
Well, the Rams said they're going to double Rice, and they're going to try and take him out of the game plan. They've done it very effectively. Of course, Joe Montana hasn't had a chance to throw to anybody.
He's been sacked 7 times. And that short kickoff that you mentioned may have played a part in this if Kofor can pick up the three.
And it's basically caused by just the presence of John Taylor. Not that he's done any damage, but his presence back there has made him think.
46-yard attempt for Kofor. He's got the distance. And it's good. The last play of the half, and the 49ers get some momentum back. Kofor hits from 46 yards, and our score from Candlestick, the Rams 21, the 49ers 13. Let's join Chris Berman.
All right, Mike and Joe, thank you very much. And so certainly for the Rams tonight, a playoff game. The Niners already know they are going. Now, if you carefully look at the NFL schedule,
Los Angeles Rams lead over the 49ers. Back in a moment. Before the ball game. And Taylor will have a chance to return from the three. Excuse me, Rodgers. Across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Halftime stats.
There are the
Passing
numbers.
yards, 100 for the Rams, 91 for San Francisco, and that's with all those sacks taken off.
It really is. I mean, they've been going forward and back, but the telltale sign here under the Rams is 7 sacks. But they've only caught the 49ers for 34 yards, which means that Montana's just not having time to get back and get caught.
Montana wants the screen this time. Craig. Across the 35, 36-yard line. Eckern on the tackle again, along with Collins. Here's what the 49ers were able to do when they had the ball in the first half. 3 plays and a punt. An 11-yard drive that resulted in a field goal when they took a 3-0 lead. Had to punt on the next series. Lost yardage on 3 straight sacks. More sacks, punted again twice in a row. Then they had a very good 12-play drive for a touchdown. Gave it up on downs with a bad snap on the field goal attempt. Rathman across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Everybody has talked about Joe Montana. I guess he was a singer. Joe Montana, Roger Craig, and Jerry Rice. The unsung hero of this offense is Tom Rathman. He blocks for Craig. He protects for Montana. He's contributed, like we said, in the passing reception area. His 100 rushes for around 4 yards a carry. He's a guy that's really holding this thing together right now.
1st and 10. Rice in motion. Craig. Rams strung it out pretty well, and Craig will only get about 2 yards out of it. Strickland was over there along with Larry Kelm. Jerry Gray held his ground at the corner.
Is a far cry from the 190 yards that Roger Craig had last time these two teams played.
It was a career high for him. He is already in his 6th year, the 3rd all-time ground gainer for San Francisco. Pressure again, got it out to Craig. Great move across the 50 to the 49-yard line. He left Michael Stewart in the grass at the 45-yard line. Strickland made the tackle.
Stewart's a 2nd-year player. 8th-round draft pick out of Fresno State. Really, they felt like with the injury to Newsome earlier in the year, they felt like they put Stewart in a very awkward situation. Gave him nickel downs to study, 1st down, 2nd down. Now they've settled him down a little bit, letting him play on 2nd down. Doesn't have as much to think about. He can just react as a ball player.
Rams are working on that streak of having not lost after leading at halftime. Montana complete. Taylor out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And it's enough for another San Francisco 1st down. He beat Urban.
The first half, you remember Kevin Green a couple times came untouched, one time jumped over Rathman. Rathman's decided to take him one up high now and just really take him where he wants to go, around the cup. They call that pocket a little cup, and you want to run those defensive players out around the rim of the cup.
Green had 4 of the 7 sacks in the first half. Montana with time, throwing for Rice. And Jerry Gray, beaten by 2 steps, just caught up.
But you just knew it had to happen sooner or later. Jerry Rice has just not been seen. This is speed against speed. He just flat out runs Jerry Gray. He told me on Friday, he says, we've beaten Gray every time I've played him. This time the ball is just nowhere near where it should be. Montana just doesn't get the ball out far enough. There's a reverse angle of it. Rice really has to slow down at the 5 to try and make a play on the ball.
Second and 10. Craig, Jeter, hit him at the line of scrimmage, got maybe a yard. This change in defense has been a great boost for Gary Jeter. The Rams defensive coaches were telling us Jeter would get to play maybe 15 downs a game. This year, maybe 35 downs a game. So it's really enabled him to have an impact.
Well, he's a pass rusher. I mean, that's what he was in New York, and that's what he was coming here. Now, they rush the passer a lot all the time with those front people. And like we pointed out in halftime, he's the one guy that stays in passing situations.
He's tied his career high in sacks this year with 11. Montana in trouble, and this time it's Fred Strickland, the rookie from Purdue. And that's 8 sacks by the Rams defense. You can't win giving up 8 sacks.
No, you can't. And the offensive line has got to just... They're only rushing 3 and 4 people. You see, again, we talked about the trick. This time Jeter comes around, and it's Strickland. Now, that time they blocked him, but they just didn't stay with him. Guy McIntyre trying to stay with him and couldn't.
Helton is on to punt. Hicks is back with Johnny Johnson. Poor kick this time. And takes a Ram bounce up to the 34. A net punt of only 15 yards. Rams with good field position when we come back. The win to get a wild card berth in the playoffs are up by 8 and have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 34. Everett got quickly to Cox, who's had a good night out to the 42-yard line. Darryl Pollard, who's playing for the injured Eric Wright, made the tackle. And here's what the Rams did in the first half. Got off to a slow start. First 2 possessions, and make it a first 3 possessions. They had to punt the ball away. And then an interception. Another punt. They got the touchdown on a 6-play drive. Another touchdown on an 11-play drive. And they finished with a 3rd touchdown after the turnover. So the last 3 times they had the ball resulted in all 21 points. Everett to his tight end of the 47-yard line. There is a flag down. Damone Johnson made the tackle. Michael Walter on Johnson after the catch.
And you can see every time Everett goes back in the pocket, he's not even looking out to the right to throw. I mean, they're just totally...
Illegal motion.
Everett for Cox. And Pollard intercepted but out of bounds. Now, Pollard isn't going to take being picked on too kindly.
Well, that time he moved to the right side of the football formation. And this is just a go. The thing is, he starts back, comes up on Cox, plays bump and run. And what he does right here is he gets that right hand on him just a little bit. Now, we saw it on the touchdown pass to Henry Ellard. McKyer did not turn around to try and find the ball. That time, Pollard gets his head around, just does manage to make the catch, but it's out of bounds.
Everett 10 out of 24, 108 yards, facing 3rd and 7. Plenty of time. Complete to Cox. First down at the San Francisco 46.
Boy, Irv Pankey, Tom Newberry, Doug Smith, Duval Love, and Jackie Slater, they just give him a ton of room to throw the foot.
Right.
There's that tight spiral. Now he's really looking right at the bore of this one. McKyer just lays his shoulder right into him.
We'll check. Receiver for the Rams has just reached the sideline, and now they're going through that drill of questions. What's your name? Where are we? And here's why, Joe.
How many fingers do I have up here? You'll see it's a helmet-to-helmet shot. The 2 hats meet, and McKyer does get Cox down, but at least he's sitting up, and they're patting him on the back, which means he got the number right.
Ron Brown is in for Cox. Everett with pressure to Ellard. Ellard dropped by Pollard. Noseman Michael Carter for the 49ers has a pinched nerve. He may not be back. Eric Wright was injured earlier. So there's 2 starters down for the 49ers. What do you do as a coach? Do you start taking starters out of the ballgame to protect them or what?
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Michael. Bill Walsh wants to get his team playing good championship football. Then he would think about substitutions. They're nowhere near a championship caliber of football right now. They're struggling offensively and defensively. I think he's got to leave his starters in and just hope that they can play through this.
The receiver got driven back. It's a first down.
They respotted the ball and given the Rams a first down just outside the 35-yard line.
Montana's been back there running for his life, been sacked 8 times tonight. Everett has had to move around in the pocket just twice, once running for a first down. The other time he scrambled, he winds up throwing a touchdown. The 49ers have got to try and put some pressure up the middle on Everett. Get him flushed out of that rhythm.
Pete Kugler is in as the noseman with Carter out. Everett to Bell. Oh, nice move by Bell. Picked up 5 yards with a couple of nifty steps down to the 30. Von Horst and Walter made the stop.
There's the numbers on the quarterbacks tonight. Both of them, 13 completions, yards about the same. TDs, Everett's got 2. TDs, 1 interception, Montana. But again, you look all the way down, lower right-hand side, 8 sacks on Montana, none on Everett.
The Rams' best ever is 10. Bell to the 28, which will bring up 3rd and 3. Von Horst again was in on the stop, along with Fagan. Everett on this drive has hit 4 out of 5 for 42 yards. It's had pretty good rhythm all night, and I think the key to that is the protection you mentioned.
Well, it really, I mean, they're running the ball just enough, but they're coming up with 2nd down and 6. So you wind up with 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. And that's what a quarterback, that's a situation a quarterback wants to be in a game.
49ers looked a little confused on defense, people running on and off. And Everett throws complete to Holohan. And Torrey Nixon was the man who made the tackle at the 20. And I'll tell you, Torrey Nixon was the player who wasn't sure whether he was supposed to be on the field or not at the beginning of that play. Ran on, ran off, ran back on, and had to ask one of his teammates what defense they were in. He was the guy that was beaten.
It's part of the substitution packages that everybody gets into. We've seen teams, start a game with 10 players, have 12 players on the field. You see it more today. That's the problem. See down by the number 30, right down here, right down this lower section. Here he is. He runs on. Now he's asking everybody, who do I cover? Who do I cover? Ronnie Lott says, pick out somebody. He did.
Bell on the toss behind McGee. Bell carrying tacklers with him down to the 12-yard line. Haley was on top. They'll spot it at the 11.
Greg Bell likes to run from the I formation. He's about 7-8 yards deep. He gets very good vision. And the one thing about the offensive line of the Rams is they just don't block where the runner is going. That's called the point of attack. They block what's considered the offside or the tackle or the end away from where he's running. They're getting good movement on the offside as well.
57 yards on 14 carries for Bell. 2nd and 1. Everett on play action. Damone Johnson, touchdown. For the 2nd time in this game, Jim Everett rolled to his right, bought himself enough time to find someone open.
Well, if you're playing a zone defense, which the 49ers chose to do, Larry Roberts doesn't keep him outside. Fagan can't catch up with him. Now, you're rushing 4 linemen. You're dropping 7 back into coverage. There are holes, and if the quarterback moves, you can slide people through the gaps.
Lansford will try to make it 28-13. So the Rams increase their lead to 15 points on Jim Everett's third touchdown pass of the night. He has 30 for the season.
Suiyobi no ESPN Scholastic Sports America Japan Holiday Special. Omite kudasai.
These guys better not travel to New York any time in the near future if you're 40. You don't want to go and play the Giants. You know, they're obviously not going to get in. If this continues.
Del Rogers gets it out to the 28-yard line.
What happens on that touchdown, now they're going to cross the tight ends. They bring one in motion, run him this way, bring the other one across. That's Damone Johnson. Now, Ronnie Lott knows what Everett wants to do as he rolls out. He slides over. Damone does a nice job of getting behind Ronnie Lott. Now, Lott knows where he's supposed to go, so he figures I'll go over there, and all of a sudden, he just slides him behind him.
Montana back to live action. Throws near sideline, out of bounds at the 38-yard line, intended for Taylor, covered by Irvin. And Montana has to pick himself up again.
Jerry Rice has had 2 footballs thrown to him all night. One was underthrown, which would have been a touchdown, which would have made this game a lot closer. And the other one was when Montana was moving around, and he made the catch in traffic. I think they're going to have to start getting the balls to Roger Craig somehow. Get Roger Craig involved in this game, or else you're just not going to be able to move the ball on offense if you're San Francisco.
Comes the blitz. Screen to Craig. Strickland can't catch it. Loose ball. Rams have it. Oh, what a big play. Well, Joe, they did exactly what you said they had to do. Go to Craig. They ran a little screen. He turned it into a big play, but coughed it up.
He's the one guy you just don't expect to let the ball get away. He handles it so much. This is a little slow screen out to the right. Actually, it's the right of formation, left of your television set. You'll just see him slide the top of the screen. Slides out. Randy Cross is leading him. He really outruns his blockers. Fred Strickland just manages to try and get a hand on him. Then he gets hit from behind, and the ball comes loose. Good pursuit by that Ram defense.
Aaron Cox is not in there for the Rams right now. He has suffered a concussion. Fake end around to Ellert. Everett then just throws it out of bounds. Nobody there. It didn't develop the way he wanted. Crowd boos, but that's a great decision on the part of Jim Everett.
Well, they run the fake reverse. Ronnie Lott reads it, drops back into center field. His number 2 choice is the tight end off to the left. And he says, no, there's a lot of people there. Let me just throw it.
Roger Craig on the sideline after that fumble, and it's sort of ironic because he set the NFL combined yardage record for the year on that play. Bell on the delay. Maybe 2. Daniel Stubbs, the rookie out of Miami, wrapped him up.
I sense the 49er defense saying, okay, look, we can't wait for our offense to get it done. And you can see the intensity start to pick up. Ronnie Lott on the previous trick play doesn't get fooled. Now the defense is starting to charge a little bit harder. Usually you need a big play from the defense to get you excited. The Rams just got it on the fumble recovery.
The Rams have all the momentum. The last 4 times they touched the ball after doing nothing, they've scored 4 touchdowns. 3rd and 9 for Everett. Unloads. Anderson overthrown at the 5. There is a flag down in the secondary.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal chuck or illegal use of hands on a 49er secondary.
Everett applauds, and it will go against the 49ers, and that will be a 1st down.
Illegal contact. Number 26 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Darryl Pollard.
They're working on him. I mean, it's like Everett says, where's Darryl Pollard? Let me put somebody on. They've had Ellert on him. They've had Cox on him. That time it was Willie Flipper Anderson. Down here, lower part of your screen, Anderson runs a little out and up. Just a little hesitation. And Pollard makes the contact. Can't do it.
Bell. Nice cutback. Bell down to the 35-yard line. Ronnie Lott up from the secondary to make the tackle.
That's just a case of that offside blocking. The ball was pitched out to the right. He started to move the defense, but the left tackle and left guard, Tom Newberry, the guard, Irv Pankey, the tackle, stayed on their men and just pushed the defense back.
Bell, a very productive night, 65 yards on 16 carries.
You just don't think he's carried the ball 16 times.
No, sure don't. 2nd and 3, 3:27 to go, 3rd quarter. Incomplete, intended for Ellard, had to reach back for it and go down to the turf. The Rams right now with a leg up on the playoffs, leading 28-13. They have to win tonight. If they do, they get into the playoffs as one of the wild cards. And the New York Giants, who lost the division today, would lose an opportunity to get into the playoffs at all. John Robinson knew he needed a break from somebody, and he got it from the New York Jets earlier this afternoon. Rams have converted 6 of their last 7 third downs. Delay to Bell. They've done it again. Bell wrapped up by Fuller. Whistle had blown. And it's a first down. We're very close to it at the 32.
As much passing as the Rams have done, it's an excellent call to run a little. You get Everett going back into the pocket. You get those ends coming up the field. The line just creates a little bit of an avenue, and Bell fires up and picks up the first down. Or no, he doesn't.
They mark the ball back at the 32, so it's a yard shy. And the Rams send on Lansford. Lining up for about a 49-yard attempt. His long this year, 47. Line drive, and he got it there. Lansford line drives a 49-yarder through the uprights. Georgia Frontiere was something to smile about, even though the Rams have just added to that lead. Kander in the bullpen is Steve Young.
Yep. Bill Walsh reached over. He says, "Give me the lefty." He talked about making the switch here, and this serves 2 purposes. It'll take some of the heat off of Joe Montana, who has not really gotten a lot of protection, isn't able to run like he used to. Young can at least get out there and run a little bit. And the other thing is he wants him to get some playing time.
The Rams kick off. Del Rogers again as they continue to try to keep it away from Taylor. Rogers to the 30, 31-yard line. The Rams extended their lead to 31-13 on only a 15-yard drive. Lansford got the rest on a 49-yard shot. Joe Montana remains in the game at quarterback for San Francisco.
I got to believe, though, that you're going to see Steve Young before this thing gets too much longer along. Montana, I'm sure he wants him to have one good drive, and then he'll replace it.
Craig. Ouch. Collins and Wright stood him up.
Ouch. Right. Oh. See, what Roger Craig was looking for here is he's looking for a door. Instead, he runs into a wall. I mean, he thinks there's daylight, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, it just gets closed up and smashed in his face. Alvin Wright became the wall, number 99.
2nd and 10. Play action by Montana. Taylor forced out of bounds as he got to the 38-yard line. While we have the chance, I want to say hello to the Dallas Cowboys Public Relations Director Doug Todd, who has not been feeling well lately, and we hope Doug's going to come around and be just fine.
Cowboys need them.
You bet.
They need everybody. So, Doug, we send our best wishes along to them. You know, they might have Troy Aikman next year too. So they'll have the #1 pick.
Give Doug something more to write about. 3rd and 2. Montana tried to hit Craig. Maybe a little hard and a little high, and Eckern was right there. Tough pass to catch.
It really, you know, and you got to give a lot of credit to Fritz Shermer, the defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. He said that the one goal that they wanted to do tonight is they didn't necessarily want to shut down Roger Craig or Jerry Rice. They'd taken Rice out of the game completely. They wanted to disrupt Joe Montana's rhythm, and that's exactly what they've done. He's not had a chance to set his feet and make good, crisp touch throws. That one required some touch. He had to fire it.
1:43 to go, 3rd quarter. Hicks waiting for Helton's punt. High floating kick. Hicks to the 35 and forced out of bounds. 8-yard return after a punt of 33. Speaking of the worst records in the league, in the Troy Aikman Derby, the Cowboys finish up 3-13. They will get the first pick. Then Detroit and Green Bay, Kansas City, Atlanta, and Atlanta is only a couple of players away, I think, from being a very good football team.
They've been applying the ointment for San Francisco, and they played New Orleans real tough in New Orleans today.
And this is the way ESPN rates the picks coming up. Deion Sanders is going to make somebody a great defensive back for about 12 years. Bell just got back to the line of scrimmage. Ronnie Lott up in a hurry to help out.
Rams have to be.
Haley in the face of Everett. Throws incomplete. Intended for his fullback, Buford McGee, and Bill Romanowski was chasing the play. You know, we've talked about the here's the replay.
Well, the thing is, Everett isn't able to really set his feet. Now, he can't get the ball. It just hits Romanowski in the tricep. Of course, these guys have got such big arms. It's easy to hit people in the arms now. But what I've noticed is it seems like the 49er defensive backs aren't really looking for the football, whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. We saw the touchdown pass by Ellard on McKyer, and now Romanowski gets an arm up, but doesn't really find the ball.
Everett has missed his last 3 after hitting 6-7 in this half. Drops it to Bell. Bell to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Close to the sticks again. Fuller makes the tackle. And it looks like it will be a first down. And 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Jim Everett's just going to let this one run down. I mean, he's already starting to walk to the sideline, so he's going to let him have a quarter change with 13 seconds to go.
Rice broke the all-time record for consecutive games with a touchdown reception. With this catch against the Atlanta Falcons, Rice set the NFL record with a touchdown catch in 12 straight games. That broke the previous record set 36 years ago by Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. Rice went on to make it 13 in a row. Unbelievable season that year for Jerry Rice. He's had a great year this year, too. It just hasn't lived up to what that was. McGee on the carry across midfield. Kugler made the tackle.
The 49ers have to come up with a stop here on defense. I mean, it's going to require at least 3 scores, 3 touchdowns by their offense, or a big play by their defense to get them back in this game or have a chance at winning. They're going to have to do it on this drive because the Ram defense is just not giving up big chunks and not allowing the 49ers big plays.
2nd and 7, Los Angeles. Bell, the lone setback. Everett to Ellard. First down at the 38-yard line. If you want to know how much there is a flag down, if you want to know how much the Rams passing game has changed, John Robinson said 2 years ago he thought it was a successful
defense, number 94, offside, penalty refused, first down.
John Robinson said he thought he had a successful practice if he didn't lose any balls.
Now he says they don't even drop them, which is really exciting. I mean, there he is, number 94. Not only was he in the encroachment zone, but he was lined up offside.
Henry Ellard with a new team reception mark, 85 catches this year. It broke Tom Fear's record. Ever deep for Ellard. Couldn't get that one at the 1. He had a step.
This is a corner pattern. Ellard just, when they get the one-on-one coverage, the Rams have not gone into a shell. He's on Darryl Pollard again. This ball is just up and now thrown to the outside. He was really looking for it inside, but does a nice job of trying to adjust to it. Again, just off the fingertips.
If he catches that ball, it's 38-13, and you can warm up the bus.
That's right. And the people in New York are going to go out and do something else.
Bell, a gaping hole up the middle to the 49er 26. Pollard and Lott had to make the tackle. Bell, 19 carries, 79 yards tonight.
Look at the offensive line. They just set. Now, the 49ers are trying to gamble a little bit. They bring their inside linebacker, and look at the hole it's created by Smith, Newberry, and Pankey on the left side. Now, Lott's trying to strip the ball away and allows Bell to even pick up more yards.
Spotted at the 26, clock running, 13:33 to go. Bell again, dips the shoulder, ducks to the 22. Fuller and Lott, the safeties, on the tackle. Of course, Bell got an opportunity because Charles White continued to have some substance abuse problems. Came over in the three-way trade from Buffalo. And he's just been an excellent running back for the Rams and John Robinson.
He's just been steady, and that's what they've needed. I think the statement that's been made when you have three different people that go over 1,000 yards, yes, you've got some great backs, but really what you have is a great offensive line.
3 of them going to the Pro Bowl this year. Bell again, hitting the backfield, got away. Inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and it was Michael Walter, number 99, who finally brought him down.
And when we visited this day, they're looking past this football game. They know that they're in. They know they've got a week off.
Complete to Ellard at the 6-yard line. Another first down for the Rams. Look at the smile on the face of Jim Everett. He's having some fun tonight.
Oh, this is the kind of game you want. I mean, you're isolated Ellard on number 26, Darryl Pollard. I mean, whether Pollard, they're looking for him, or it's just coincidence, I'm not sure. But every time a ball is in the area, Darryl Pollard has got to try and make a tackle on somebody.
The Rams can sense that they have fulfilled their mission tonight.
Whenever you get a secondary like with their arm over the bench and stuff, you know that the offense is playing well.
Bell, 1 yard to the 5. Ronnie Lott was up there in a hurry. Fonhorst and Walter also in there. Well, the Rams have done their job on this drive. They've eaten up nearly 5 minutes off the clock. And now they have it 1st and goal, and John Robinson even allows himself a big smile.
Well, the reason why is now they can start to do the things that he loves, and that's run the football. I mean, he's not real comfortable with this passing game. He's got to stand there and cheer a little bit. Now he can settle down and really get into the Robinson style of football.
2nd and goal from the 5. Everett in trouble, unloads, incomplete, intended for Holahan. And Darryl Pollard chasing the play. Interesting talking to John Robinson about that running game. As you pointed out earlier, he said it's a matter of will, and when the passing game is going well and you're getting yardage so easily and racking up the points, it's very hard not even to look at the run anymore.
Well, and he does, he's just like a fan. John Robinson doesn't coach the offense or defense or special teams, not like a lot of different head coaches in the league. He's an atmosphere coach. He tries to create an environment for his players to play in that's positive, and he senses what's going on. He looks a lot more relaxed than he did in the beginning, so I guess he senses it's going his way. And he's right.
3rd and goal. Blitz. Picked up all alone. Johnson, touchdown. Little clinch of the fist from John Robinson. Everett limping as he gets up, but he has thrown 3 touchdown passes to Damone Johnson.
Yeah, this is what's known as a gimme. I mean, they're going to give Jim Everett a hard time in films on this one because they're going to say, even I could have completed it. Every player. Ronnie Lott makes the commitment on the blitz. Tommy Homo can't get there, number 46, and Damone Johnson says, hey, look, there's nobody covering me.
37-13. Lansford makes it a 25-point ball game, and the 49ers would need 4 touchdowns to win this game. Tonight's game from San Francisco is brought to you by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. By Mazda Cars and Trucks, including the all-new Mazda MPV. And by new Michelob Dry. One taste, and you'll drink it dry.
Now's the time. Montana couldn't move him the last drive out. I believe Walsh will make the switch now and go with Steve Young. And now what he's simply telling Young is, look, just go out and play your game. Don't try and do anything spectacular or great. Take it on your shoulders. I don't think you're going to see the 49ers deviate too much from what they wanted to try and do. Again, the difference between Montana and Young is mobility. Steve Young can run around if he has to. Joe Montana really doesn't, nor can he.
Lansford with the short kick. Rodgers picks it up and goes down at the 15-yard line. And the 49ers faithful getting a little restless. And there is Steve Young.
What happens on the last score, where Everett had it so easy, is you'll see the movement of the tight end here. This Jeff Fuller's committed, Ronnie Lott is committed. That means there's only one guy to cover a tight end and the back out. So what happens is when the Fuller comes from the outside, Lott comes from the inside, Holohan goes out. He's got to be picked up by somebody, and Damone Johnson's wide open.
It's the easiest catch he'll ever make. Montana finishes his night 15 out of 26. Sacked 8 times. Young completes one for about 4 yards. Young playing in his 11th game, started 3 this year, and had such an excellent training camp that there was a legitimate quarterback controversy in San Francisco as to who would have the job.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. I don't think it was legitimate. I don't think it had anything to do with his training camp. His training camp is a process of development for Steve Young.
You think it was Montana's injury?
I don't think it was Montana's injury. I think there was pressure from the media, from the fans last year after the Minnesota game that might have precipitated some of the conversation.
Harry Sidney and Terrence Flagler are into the ball game as running backs for San Francisco. And with 9:30 to go in the game, the 49ers.
Ball start, 77 offense, 5-yard penalty, Joe second down.
That's Bubba Paris, listed at 306 pounds, probably a generous weighing. But it looks like the 49ers have said, well, we've got the division. Let's get out of here without anyone else getting hurt.
Yeah, but, in the beginning of the game, I don't think they wanted, they didn't say that. They said we wanted to play football. I mean, they have absolutely taken Jerry Rice, the Rams have, completely out of this football game, and Roger Craig.
Young under pressure, wants to screen, throws to Flagler. Nice catch. Flagler down the sideline, pushed out of bounds. Michael Stewart was over there. Losing a little heat over there on the sideline.
They just smoke him. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, Jackie Slater is just smoking. Over in Hawaii. Slater last night said something very plain and simple. He said, if we play one play at a time, we are a better football team than they are. All we have to do is just play it one play at a time. And proving out they're going to have a chance. They may meet again. Who knows?
Young scrambles. Flag is down. What a run across the 40 to the 41. 15-yard gain. Now we'll check the flag back at the 20. And it is a hold.
Toughest time for the offensive line.
Holding. 10-yard penalty. Go first down. 69 offense.
Toughest time for the offensive line is late stages of the game when you're down by as many touchdowns, as many points as they are. The defense has one mission. That's to just line up and go after the quarterback. See up number 69 up to the right part of your screen, Bruce Colley on Gary Jeter, number 77. He just got him around the shirt, and he gets a takedown.
Roger Craig out of the ball game, 12 yards short of the NFC rushing title. Herschel Walker's going to win it if Craig doesn't come back in the ball game. Of course, Eric Dickerson will take everything in the rushing department. This would be in the NFC, of course. Flag on the screen. 30. Great move. He's got a chance. Needs a block. Flagler to the 27-yard line. Mike Wilcher ran him down. It's a gain of 57. His longest gain before that play was 4 yards.
This is the screenplay. What happened is you get the defensive line rushing, which you see Young draw the line into him, all four of the linemen, and then an excellent job by the wide receivers and the men downfield picking up somebody. Now, he makes one guy miss. Then he gets the caravan down the field, gets that entourage leading them down. Now he cuts back in, and Wilcher comes in from behind trying to strip the ball.
Spotted at the Rams' 28-yard line. Young swinging in, complete to the 14. Mike Wilson made the grab. Leroy Irvin made the tackle.
If Steve Young puts this one in the end zone and comes back in and puts another one in, they're going to be deja vu back to the beginning of this season. I'm sure Joe Montana is sitting there going, don't tell me it's going to happen again. There he is signaling the plays in, and I don't think it should.
I don't either.
This game doesn't fall on Montana's shoulders. The entire offensive performance by the 49ers was poor, and there was great performance by the Ram defense.
The 8 sacks are ample evidence for that. Young in trouble. Another sack. There is a flag down. Kevin Green brought him down. That would be the 5th sack of the night for Green. But it looks like the call will go.
Holding. 52 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Helm commits the hold, so the sack is wiped out.
Kelm, of course, an inside linebacker, so you got to figure he probably got locked up with John Franks or Ron Heller or Brent Jones, the 3 tight ends for the 49ers.
It's an automatic first down and spotted between the 7 and the 8. 6:39 and counting in the game. It's 38-13. Young incomplete. Irvin broke it up, intended for Wilson at the goal line. Young got it there.
Well, this time he gets the ball out in front. What you don't want to do is you want to try and throw it at the receiver's body. This time the ball is out in front a little bit, and it allows the defensive back to come in and either hit the ball and the receiver or just get out in front so he can get his body on the ball.
Leroy Irvin still in this game, mentally.
Oh, yeah, now the defensive backs are back there excited. They know you got to throw, so they're figuring, hey, we get a chance to pick one off.
Young goes down this time. Guess who? Green and Jeter. Well, Green told Joe Montana, I'll be coming for you. I wonder if he bothered to say anything to Steve Young.
No, I don't think he did. Here on this play, what happens, there's 3 up front. They rush. They drop all 8 guys back into coverage, and this is really a coverage sack. They simply rush 3, and the Rams play a zone, and they just shadow and double cover the wide receivers, shadow the tight ends. So there's no place else for Young to go.
The 9th sack of the night for the Rams. The team record is 10, and San Francisco has not had a sack on Jim Everett. 3rd and goal from the 14. Blitz and thrown away. Rice went inside, and it looked like Young either thought he was going to go outside or simply threw it away to save that sack.
Well, that time, the play before they play zone, now they bounce back, and now the Rams, they bring everybody, and they blitz. I mean, they really have the 49ers, I think, totally confused, which only is indication. Is a start in a football game. This game started this way, and there you see you got safeties running free. The offensive line has just been really had their pride taken apart.
Why are the fans booing? Because Bill Walsh has sent on the field goal team down 38-13.
Well, there's 5 minutes to go, okay? I mean, the man is a realist, is what I'm trying to... He just, he's looking for some points. He doesn't want this thing to look quite as bad as it is right now.
Hofer, and the 30-second clock has just run down to 0. That'll cost him 5 yards. So instead of a 31-yarder, Cofer will have to go from 36. May I take a moment to disagree with you? Somehow, 38-16 is no better than 38-13.
Mike, this game's over.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Still 4th down.
I mean, this game is over, okay? I'm going to go out on a real limb, okay, and say that, I know that the guys in New York have gone Christmas shopping, but someone will tell them what the final score is. But, for some reason, he wants to put some points on the board, or try.
Hofer from 36. And he's got it. Timeout, 5:49 left in the game. It's a 22-point lead. Park, the Rams over the 49ers 38-16. And the Rams will be a wild card team in the playoffs.
I'm sitting here playing with some numbers. If you had 21-16, you still come up with only 37. So they're doing everything they can to try and get some points on the board.
Onside kick. John Taylor had his hands on it.
Well, the ball never went 10 yards. That's the first problem. If the ball doesn't go 10 yards, it's going to be a penalty. Little discussion by the officials.
Illegal touching by the kicking team. And also a multiple foul. We had the kick go out of bounds. It's a 5-yard penalty and a re-kick.
It's a re-kick because it was an attempted onside kick. They get one more crack at it. If this one would go out of bounds, then the Rams would get the football. Right.
Another one of those little additional rule jobbies. Has
something else to remember.
Applies differently. It's been a relatively penalty-free football game, too.
Certainly has.
Mike, the 49ers are in, okay? They win the division. And you look at what the Rams have done to them, the Ram defense has done to their offense tonight, rushing 230-pound linebackers and 1 defensive lineman. I'm thinking they got a couple of guys in this division. They got some heavyweights. You got the Bear front 4. You got the Eagle front 4. You got the Minnesota front 4. I mean, they're not exactly what one might deem 230-pound average linemen.
Another onside kick try. Good coverage by Stewart and took it out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So it's Rams football with 5:37 left. The game itself, Joe, seems to be changing, and it looks like this year, with all the other changes, we're going to have some personnel shifting around.
Yeah, we've seen the front office change in Kansas. Detroit, I believe, coach has earned his wings to stay there.
I hope Wayne Fontes gets the job.
He really has.
A marked difference in the Detroit Lion team since he took over. We've got a timeout with 5:37 left in the game. Charles White and Mike Gooman will come in as running backs for Los Angeles. Gooman just activated. White on the call. Get about 3.
You know, Mike, we were talking about some other changes. You got, well, there's a scoring summary. Do that, and we'll talk about some changes after.
Okay, Kofor with a 23-yard field goal made it 3-0, and then it was Rams after that. Touchdown pass. Rathman gets a 1-yard run. Henry Ellard makes it 14-10 on the pass from Everett. Greg Bell got a 1-yard run for an 11-yard lead, or an 11-point lead, rather. Kofor countered with a field goal to cut it to 8, and after that, the Rams just started building on it. Damone Johnson made it 28-13. Lansford ripped the field goal, 31-13. Johnson, another touchdown pass, a 25-point lead, and it was good night. The 49ers did come back and get a field goal.
You know, I was talking earlier, not only are you talking about coaching change, but, for example, you know, you look at the Redskins. They're, you know, Seppian and there are lots of, this year, last year we didn't have much movement. I mean, this is a year where you may see some changes. Some assistants getting an opportunity to become head coaches as well.
White on the carry. Gets a couple this time. Sports Center coming up right after our ball game. Bill Patrick and John Saunders will be with you. Highlights of the NFL, NBA, NHL, and then after Sports Center, a second chance to catch NFL
Gator Bowl down to Jacksonville, and Vince Dooley in his last coaching venture. And I know there are a bunch of teams out there that will not have a Merry Christmas. There are some that will, but we send our season's greetings along to bad deal. Bad job if you can get it.
Clock running down, 3:28 to go.
49ers are going to spend the next 2 weeks thinking. You know, what?
Sure are.
No, we've played real well. We struggled. They started to play well against the Redskins earlier in the year. Now all of a sudden, has it turned back against them? Looked like they had a good week of practice. Everything seemed to be going along fine, and then the Rams come in. And really, this is a classic example of one team having something to play for and another team really not being in it mentally. I mean, emotion is such a big part of this game. The Rams had it, the 49ers didn't. I mean, that's really, as I see it, the bottom line of this game.
I do too. Hatcher will punt. Taylor is deep. Minnesota loses tomorrow night, then the Rams would host the wild card game. Hatcher gets it out of there. Taylor with no blockers back. Got one as he headed for the corner. Taylor, a flag is down. Taylor finally knocked out of bounds at the 42. A 41-yard return is going to be wiped out, and Taylor knew it. The official was holding the flag up over his shoulder, running right by John Taylor.
Isn't that terrible? You're running one way, and the official's running the other, waving a yellow flag, going, oh, no.
I mean, he looked like a traffic cop.
Gee.
Illegal block in the back, 84 during the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Taylor has another great return wiped out. He is the Pro Bowl return man. Jones, one of the tight ends, committing the foul. And here are the Rams Pro Bowl selections: Jerry Gray and the 49ers. Craig, Watt, Rice, and Taylor. Haley will go. Michael Carter not on that list. He will go.
Didn't have room for him. He's so big.
Young back to throw. Greer out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And there was a tiebreaker for the final position on the Pro Bowl. Eddie Fulcher, the defensive back for Cincinnati, gets in because they had a better record. There was a tie in the vote.
A tiebreaker.
That'd be a tough way to lose it, wouldn't it?
It really, I tell you, it really is. And, you know, you look around, I think the only problem I have is a guy like J.T. Smith last year, who with the Phoenix Crowns, has 91 catches, doesn't make it, has well over 80 catches again this year, doesn't make it. I know there's a lot of great players at the wide receiver position, but there's certainly one guy who deserves it.
Rams blitz. Flag is down as Wilson couldn't make the catch, and right in front of him was Clifford Hicks. And I don't think Hicks gave him a chance to get to the football.
Interference, 28 defense, first down.
Hicks is flagged for it, so it's a first down with 2:50 left in the game.
And that's something we talk about, the Rams being a defense that used to play zone a lot and sit back, and you think with this kind of a commanding lead, you got to 22-point lead, you'd sit back. No, they're blitzing linebackers.
They're coming. They're going for the record.
I think they remember what happened here on the Candlestick last year.
A 48-0 blowout. They were never in it. Greer tackled by Green as he got to the 47. It was actually the worst loss they'd ever had in the history of the franchise here a year ago.
Well, not only that, you know, we talked to Coach Robinson about having to come to Candlestick. Again, a big game, playoff implications on the line. Now you got to come back to the West Coast, come back here to San Francisco and play. You know, does it ever bother him? And he said, no, you know, we're really a better ball club on the road than we are at home. He says, you know, we'd like the league office to keep looking at it. And, you know, it's the kind of thing you do get concerned with. You know, 4 out of 5 of the last seasons, you finish out here.
No, he's not pleased by that at all. Young throwing incomplete again, intended for Greer. And we have reached the 2-minute warning at Candlestick, where it's all Rams. 1:59 left in the game. The Rams have wrapped this one up over the division champion 49ers, 38-16. '49ers trying to put some final points on the board in the last 2 minutes. Young to Flagler on the draw. Ran into his own man. And Wright forced Bubba Paris back into the play.
This is one of those cases where you're not going to see anybody out that use timeouts at this stage of the game.
3rd and 11. Young incomplete. Again, intended for Mike Wilson. Let's update you on the NFC playoff picture. Philadelphia wins today and wins the Eastern Division. Chicago is in. San Francisco is in. They will be 10-6, not 11-5. And Chicago will have the home field advantage in the NFC. The wild card game, it will be the Rams against Minnesota. If Minnesota wins tomorrow night, they will host the wild card game. If they lose, the Rams will host the wild card game. These teams did not meet in the regular season. The tiebreaker is among common opponents. 4th and 11, they'll go for it. Young pressured out of the pocket, throws complete. That's going to be close to a first down, very close. Ron Heller, the tight end, made the catch.
All right, I'm going to go for the hat trick. Okay?
You're 2 for 2.
See, I'm looking. Wait, hold it. Hold it. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, got it.
First down, you think?
First down.
Okay.
Yep. I think so.
I think you may be pressing your luck.
Well, hey,
Could have quit it.
got to go for it at some point.
Oh, 2 for 3.
Well, I'd have taken 66% when I was playing, so you know.
Now,
Yeah,
this is
now-
our perch.
See? Okay, so I need glasses. Actually, binoculars would do quite well there, but
Parachute wouldn't hurt either.
We're a little ways up. Okay.
So the 49ers will take over on downs, or the Rams, excuse me, will take over on downs with 1:20 left to go in the game.
There's a guy who had a great night, Damone Johnson.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited. Mark Herman into the ball game at quarterback, and he'll give it off to Charles White. Let's update you on the AFC and what that playoff picture looks like tonight. That is settled. Cincinnati will get the home field advantage. Buffalo, Cincinnati, and Seattle are the division champions. Seattle 9-7, beating the Raiders today. The wild card, Houston and Cleveland, a rematch of today's game, and they will go back to Cleveland, where Jerry Glanville said some very unkind things about the city by the lake, and we'll probably get to say them again next week.
Yeah, I guess he gets to rerun them if that's the way he feels about it.
And Jerry is not one who hides his feelings.
Big question there is, who does he leave the ticket?
Goodman across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and that's going to be the final play of the game. And you have to hand it to the Rams. They knew what they had to do coming into this game, and John Robinson told us earlier this week, we've got to quit being contenders and win the big game, and tonight was it.
They have won a big football game. I think the guy that's got a coaching job ahead of him for these next 2 weeks is Bill Walsh. He's got to let his football team know that they not only are contenders, they are champions, and they're going to have to start playing like it.
What do you think of the Rams' chances in the play?
I like the Rams. You know, they're doing something different on defense. They're presenting all those different looks on defense. Everett right now is a very hot quarterback. They did not have success running the ball against the 49ers the last times they played. They did tonight. They put up 38 points on the board. A lot of consistency. Everett's getting very comfortable with Ernie Zampese's offense. And each week he grows and grows and develops and develops. So, you know, I like the Rams situation. But again, they're going up against a mighty, powerful defense.
The Minnesota football team is quite a club.
This is great.
Our final score here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The Rams 38, the 49ers 16. For Joe Theismann, this is Mike Patrick saying goodnight from Candlestick for our entire ESPN crew. Now let's go back to our studio and join Bill Patrick and John Saunders for SportsCenter.